The air on September 30th holds a secret energy few ever notice. Ancient traditions whisper that this day carries a subtle yet powerful force, a moment when the world itself seems to pause, waiting for those who are ready to step forward. Shaolin masters have long taught that timing is more than a measure of hours. It is the alignment of heaven, earth, and self. When mind, body, and moment converge, intention becomes unstoppable. Today, I will share a practice that taps into this hidden current, a ritual so simple yet so potent, it has the power to shift the path of your life. Salt and water, elements that have purified and protected souls for centuries, will become your allies. By placing your name into this sacred mixture, you do more than right. You send a signal, a quiet command to the universe that transformation is ready to begin. Few know that water has memory and salt carries vibrations older than any city or dynasty. In the hands of a focused mind, these forces align with your energy, clearing obstacles and opening doors you never saw before. Shaolin teachings remind us that mastery is not in grand gestures but in small, precise acts performed with absolute awareness. Today, this ritual will be your bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact steps to perform this ritual, the philosophy behind each action, and how to carry its energy into every moment of your life. You will uncover hidden truths about alignment, timing, and personal power that few ever speak of. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. Stay with me and subscribe to join a journey where ancient wisdom ignites modern transformation. Look closely at the surface of water, and you will see more than your reflection. You will see a mirror of the mind, calm yet capable of great depth. Water is not just liquid, it is a teacher. It moves effortlessly around obstacles. It cleanses without judgment, and it carries both the past and the potential of the future. In Shaolin teachings, water is honored as a force that restores balance. Body, mind, and spirit all respond to its quiet power. For centuries, masters have used water in ritual and practice, not as a mere tool, but as a sacred partner. Monks would wash their hands, their faces, even their feet, but in those simple acts lay profound lessons. The water carries away tension, fear, and attachment, leaving only clarity. It reminds the practitioner that life flows forward, that resistance creates stagnation, and that surrender, when done with awareness, is a form of strength. Placing your name into water is an act both subtle and profound. It is not just ink or touch, it is intention made visible, a dialogue with the unseen forces that shape existence. As your letters dissolve into the current, something old is released, patterns that no longer serve you, habits that quietly hold you back, they all begin to drift away. At the same time, the water receives your presence, holding your name, your essence, ready to carry it into the world in new ways. This simple act, repeated with mindfulness, becomes a meditation. Each ripple is a reminder that clarity is born from movement, that purification is ongoing, and that transformation often arrives through the gentlest, quietest channels. Water does not demand, it invites. It does not force, it flows. And when you meet it with intention, you begin to understand its teaching, not just in ritual, but in every breath, every step, every moment of your life. Few elements carry as much quiet power as salt. For thousands of years, civilizations have turned to it, not merely to flavor food, but to shield the spirit. Salt is a guardian of balance, a silent force that absorbs what no longer belongs and restores what has been lost. In ancient temples and monasteries, grains of salt were scattered to cleanse spaces, to lift stagnant energy, and to create a boundary between the ordinary and the sacred. It is a reminder that protection begins within, rooted in awareness and intention. When combined with water, salt transforms from a simple mineral into a vessel of inner alchemy. The water moves, the salt stabilizes, and together they create a medium where intention can grow. Every crystal carries resonance, every ripple amplifies focus. Placing oneself in alignment with this mixture is not an act of magic, but of discipline. It is a lesson in mastery to shape one's energy, to clear what hinders, and to strengthen the currents that serve purpose. Ancient wisdom teaches that mastery is cultivated in small, deliberate actions. Just as the Shaolin monk repeats forms with precision and patience, so too does the ritual invite careful attention. The salt does not work alone. It responds to the clarity of mind, the steadiness of breath, and the calm assertion of will. In this sacred interplay, the body learns to release tension, the mind learns to sharpen focus, and the spirit remembers its own resilience. To touch salt and water is to touch the subtle boundaries of existence. It teaches that protection is not resistance but alignment, that purification is not erasure but clarity, and that transformation is not sudden but cultivated through consistent presence. In these grains, in this flow, the ordinary becomes sacred and the disciplined heart begins to draw the currents of change into its own rhythm. Every action carries energy, though few notice. In rituals, even the simplest gestures become profound when the mind and body move together in harmony. Ancient masters understood this long before modern science gave it names. They knew that intention alone is a spark, but when paired with presence, it becomes a flame. Mindfulness is the bridge, turning ordinary acts into conduits of transformation. Shaolin teachings stress this principle deeply. Every movement in the temple, each step, each stance, each breath, is performed with acute awareness. The body learns to follow the mind, and the mind learns to calm the body. There is a rhythm to this discipline, a silent dialogue between thought, breath, and action. When a gesture is executed with full attention, it begins to carry resonance, vibrating beyond the physical into the subtle fields of energy surrounding the practitioner. Writing a name in water may seem like a simple act, but with deliberate focus, it becomes an energetic signal. Each letter is infused with presence, each stroke a declaration of intent. The water receives more than ink. It receives the concentrated mind, the aligned body, the attentive breath. This is the essence of inner mastery, not forcing change, but allowing it to flow through conscious alignment. Discipline in this context is not rigidity, it is precision of awareness, a willingness to be fully present in every movement. In these quiet, intentional acts, the body stops rushing, the mind stops wandering, and the spirit begins to resonate with clarity. What might appear as a small ritual becomes a profound teaching that transformation is born not only from what is done, but from how it is done. Mastery grows where attention flows, and even water and salt respond to the steady pulse of focused presence. Begin by finding a space where the world feels still, a quiet corner, a table bathed in soft light, or a spot near a window where air moves gently. These are the stages where the ritual begins. The preparation itself carries meaning. Warm water is poured, not hastily, but with intention, inviting comfort and receptivity. A single pinch of salt is added, a reminder that even the smallest elements hold power. Each movement matters, each decision reflects the mind's attention. Before touching the water, pause. Inhale deeply, feel the air fill the body, and release what does not serve. Let the breath guide the hand, steadying each gesture. Pour slowly, stir softly, and let the mind observe itself as it observes the ritual. This is not a task to rush, but a practice in presence. In the careful repetition of simple acts, mastery begins to take root. Discipline is not in doing many things, but in doing one thing fully, completely, with awareness. Sincerity outweighs perfection. The grains of salt need not be measured with exact science. The water need not be crystal clear. What matters is the attention carried into each action, the intention held steadily in the heart. Ancient traditions always favored the purity of spirit over the precision of technique. When movements are honest and deliberate, the energy of the ritual deepens and the water becomes more than a medium, it becomes a vessel for transformation. As preparation concludes, allow a moment of stillness. Let the warmth of the water and the presence of salt anchor awareness in the body. Let the calm space remind the mind that this is sacred territory, a threshold between ordinary life and the quiet power of personal mastery. In this preparation, the ritual has already begun. Each breath, each pinch of salt, each ripple in the water becomes a lesson in patience, presence, and disciplined intention. The moment the hand meets the surface of water, a quiet transformation begins. Writing a name is not mere motion, it is a statement to the universe, a recognition of presence and purpose. Each curve of a letter carries thought, breath, and intention, weaving them into the liquid medium. In this act, the ordinary becomes sacred. The water, attentive and receptive, reflects not only the form of the name, but the energy behind it. As the name dissolves into the flow, the mind learns a subtle lesson that change is not demanded but invited. The energy of intention flows outward, touching currents beyond the visible. Shaolin masters have long taught that the smallest gestures, executed with focus and care, carry resonance far greater than expected. The ripple of water mirrors the ripple of intention, both expand quietly, steadily, and without force. This ritual marks a mental shift from longing to allowance. I wish is a distant hope, tied to desire and uncertainty. I allow and receive is grounded, present, and aligned. It is a state of readiness, a surrender rooted in discipline. The act of placing the name in water becomes a mirror for the mind. Letting go of attachment, trusting the process, and acknowledging one's own role as both participant and witness. Each repetition, each careful tracing of the letters strengthens presence. It is a lesson in mastery that transformation begins not in grand acts, but in precise, deliberate focus. As the name spreads, dissolves, and mingles with water and salt, the inner self learns a deeper rhythm. Life changes are invited not by force, but by clarity, attention, and alignment. The ritual teaches patience, presence, and the power of conscious intention, reminding that mastery is always reflected first within before it manifests in the world outside. Every movement within the ritual carries meaning when guided by focus. Shaolin wisdom teaches that discipline is not a rigid force, but a quiet, steady commitment to presence. Each gesture, lifting a hand, stirring the water, tracing a name, becomes an extension of awareness. When the mind is fully engaged, the body follows without hesitation, and the spirit begins to resonate in harmony. Patience is the rhythm of mastery. The water does not hurry, nor does the salt act before its time. Observing this pace teaches the practitioner that transformation unfolds gradually, in layers, and cannot be forced. Shaolin masters often remind that the path to clarity is walked in small, deliberate steps. In the ritual, patience is practiced in every breath, every ripple, every deliberate pause between actions. Presence is the heartbeat of this practice. It is the stillness between thoughts, the quiet observation of sensations, the conscious awareness of intention moving into action. When fully present, even the simplest acts are imbued with power. The ritual ceases to be a mere symbol and becomes a living exchange with the elements. Energy flows naturally from mind to body to spirit, and the water and salt carry that resonance outward. Through this alignment, mastery is revealed, not as control over the outside world, but as harmony within. The ritual becomes a mirror, reflecting inner states and revealing where attention wavers or where intention is strong. Focus sharpens clarity. Discipline cultivates consistency, patience allows growth, and presence anchors all action in awareness. In embodying these principles, the ritual transcends the physical and enters the realm of transformation. It is not the water, the salt, or the name alone that effects change. It is the alignment of mind, body, and spirit behind every movement. Here, ancient wisdom meets personal mastery, and the simplest acts carry the quiet force to reshape energy, perception, and life itself. Close your eyes for a moment and see the life you wish to live, not as a distant dream, but as a vivid, present experience. Ancient masters understood that the mind shapes reality more than most realize. Shaolin teachings often speak of intention as energy in motion, a force that gains strength when paired with clarity and focus. Visualization is the bridge between thought and manifestation, a quiet rehearsal for the life waiting to unfold. As the eyes trace imagined landscapes, emotions begin to rise: gratitude, confidence, peace, and purpose. These feelings are not mere accompaniment. They are the fuel that carries intention into the unseen currents of existence. A clear mental image, strengthened by deep emotion, resonates far beyond the physical self. It aligns subtle energies, focuses attention, and primes action. The body begins to respond, the mind sharpens, and the spirit anchors in readiness. Discipline is required in this practice. It is not enough to glance briefly at a vision and return to distraction. Like the repetition of forms in Shaolin training, visualization demands sustained attention. Each detail, sound, color, sensation adds weight and resonance. Each emotional response deepens the signal. The mind learns to hold this state with patience, and in doing so, it trains the body and spirit to move in harmony with the vision. Intention setting is inseparable from visualization. Words, whether spoken softly or held silently in thought, act as commitments. When paired with clear imagery, they act as magnets for transformation. The ritual becomes a living dialogue. The elements respond to focused awareness. The heart synchronizes with desire, and the self learns that creation begins first within. Through this practice, mastery is revealed as the ability to consciously guide energy, to align thought, emotion, and action, and to step into a life shaped by deliberate, mindful intention rather than chance or habit. The vision is not a dream, it is a practice of presence, discipline, and inner power. When the ritual reaches its quiet conclusion, the next step is perhaps the most profound release. The water has carried your name, your intention, your energy. Now the mind must learn the art of letting go. Shaolin wisdom teaches that true mastery lies not in clinging, but in understanding where control ends and surrender begins. The elements will carry the energy, the universe will respond, but only when the practitioner releases rigid attachment. Clutching too tightly to outcomes binds the spirit. Desire, when untempered by presence, creates tension, and tension distorts the flow of energy. In contrast, releasing does not mean indifference. It is a disciplined act of trust. It is the recognition that you have done what is within your power, focused, precise, and intentional, and now it is time to allow life to move as it must. Like a river carrying leaves downstream, the current is not forced, yet it reaches its destination in perfect rhythm. Surrender in this context is an active practice. It requires patience and awareness, a willingness to observe without judgment, and the courage to let the unknown unfold. Shaolin masters often speak of this as the balance between effort and acceptance. Effort shapes the path, attention guides the energy, and acceptance allows the outcomes to harmonize with forces beyond the self. Trust becomes the companion of release. Every ripple in the water, every grain of salt, every intention set with care has already been received by the unseen currents. The mind, freed from grasping, becomes serene. The body, relaxed, mirrors the calm flow of energy. The spirit, attuned, learns that transformation often occurs quietly, in timing that cannot be predicted, but in rhythm that is always perfect. In this act of letting go, mastery is revealed. Control what you can, surrender the rest, and allow life to respond with its subtle, unfolding wisdom. Transformation does not end when a ritual is complete. Its energy is a seed, and like any seed, it requires ongoing care to grow. Ancient masters understood that moments of heightened awareness are only the beginning. True mastery unfolds through consistent practice, through daily acts that anchor intention into the body, mind, and spirit. Rituals spark change, but mindfulness sustains it. Each day offers opportunities to nurture this energy. Breathing exercises, performed with attention and patience, reconnect the body with the present moment. A single deep breath, held and released with awareness, can clear stagnant thoughts and restore equilibrium. Intentional actions, no matter how small, carry the same power. Preparing a meal, walking slowly, speaking with calm. Each becomes a vessel for disciplined presence when performed consciously. Reflection is equally essential. Taking moments to observe thoughts, emotions, and behaviors allows clarity to deepen. Shaolin teachings speak of the mirror within, the practice of seeing oneself without judgment, understanding the patterns that guide action, and gently correcting what no longer serves purpose. This is the continuation of the ritual, a living dialogue between intention and life. Daily mindfulness transforms ordinary life into a field of practice. Energy set in motion by the ritual is not lost. It expands, ripples outward, and strengthens through repeated awareness. Each act of presence is a reinforcement. Each pause of attention, a signal that the self is aligned with purpose. Mastery, in this sense, is not an endpoint, but a continuous refinement, a commitment to living with clarity, discipline, and subtle awareness. Through consistent mindfulness, the ritual's power is woven into the fabric of life. The mind learns to remain steady, the body responds with ease, and the spirit grows resilient. Change becomes a natural rhythm, not an event, and the energy you awakened continues to unfold, quietly, steadily, and profoundly in every breath, every step, every thought. True change is not seen only in events or circumstances. It is reflected in the alignment between inner clarity and outward action. Shaolin masters have long taught that the deepest transformation begins within, where awareness, discipline, and presence shape every choice. When the mind is steady, the body responsive, and the spirit centered, even small actions carry profound significance. Life itself becomes an expression of mastery. Reflection is the bridge between intention and reality. Observing personal goals, habits, and patterns allows insight into what serves growth and what creates stagnation. Ancient wisdom emphasizes that without such awareness, effort may be wasted, energy scattered. Each choice, when guided by clarity, becomes a step toward harmony. Journaling, quiet meditation, or even mindful observation of daily routines can illuminate subtle shifts that lead to meaningful progress. Integration is more than observation, it is practice. The lessons learned in ritual and mindfulness must translate into action. Speaking with calm, moving with purpose, choosing habits that honor body and mind. Discipline, once internalized, guides behavior effortlessly. The energy cultivated in ritual finds expression in daily life, turning intention into lived experience. Shaolin philosophy reminds that mastery is reflected not in grand gestures, but in consistency, alignment, and integrity of being. When mind, body, and spirit resonate together, life responds naturally. Obstacles become lessons, challenges become opportunities, and decisions are guided by a subtle, steady awareness. Transformation is no longer confined to a moment, it flows through every thought, every step, every encounter. Spiritual integration is the culmination of practice, the conscious weaving of insight, presence, and discipline into the tapestry of life. In this harmony, the self becomes both observer and creator, and change is no longer sought. It is embodied quietly, profoundly, and continuously. The saltwater ritual is more than an action. It is a practice of presence, a channel for intention, and a reflection of inner clarity. Through mindful focus, deliberate gestures, and the willingness to release attachment, the mind, body, and spirit align in quiet harmony. Even the smallest acts, performed with awareness and sincerity, have the power to create profound shifts in life. By placing your name in water, feeling the salt, and setting your intention, you invite transformation not through force but through alignment and patience. This is the essence of mastery, cultivating presence, trusting the process, and allowing change to flow naturally. Each ritual, each breath, each moment of mindful attention strengthens the energy you have begun to awaken. Take this practice into your daily life. Let mindfulness guide your actions, reflection deepen your understanding, and discipline shape your habits. Small, consistent steps echo the power of this ritual, reminding you that transformation is both subtle and expansive. Perform the ritual today with faith, presence, and patience, and allow its energy to flow through you. Let it teach you that mastery is not distant or abstract. It begins here, in simplicity, awareness, and the quiet alignment of self. If this journey of inner transformation resonates with you, join us at Shaolin Soulfire. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and continue exploring the wisdom that empowers life, uplifts the spirit, and guides the path toward personal mastery. Peace and clarity be with you as you walk this path.